think Gemini is so good at talking. They can carry the torch completely by themselves. Yeah. But they would love actually if somebody came in and would help a little bit. Yeah. They don't always like to have to carry the torch. Sometimes they feel the weight of that, you know? Like, it can be awkward, and Gemini feels like they have to come in and fill that space. Right. You know? Like, that is also, that's a burden sometimes, you know? It is. And Gemini shouldn't always have to carry that.
Like a little baby, look at your feet can't even touch the ground. She's just eating solids.
I'm just a little baby.
You're Aries season.
It is.
She's just a little baby.
And listen to me. Listen to me.
Her feet are not touching the floor. No. She's just shaking it like those toddlers do when they're getting a little geriatric. That's not how you use that word. But it fits. And that is Mercury retrograde.
Yes. Oh man. And is it retrograde?
And is it retrograde?
But we'll talk about that in the podcast.
In the podcast. So go listen.
Yes. This is part 2.
Part 2
of how we communicate.
If you were here for the first part, we talked about water signs and fire signs. So now we have air signs and earth signs. We're gonna go through this list and talk about how they communicate. So let's just get into it. First on the list we have Taurus. This is how you communicate. The actions speak louder than words. I mean, yeah. Are you acting the same as I always want you to be acting?
Also, like, prove it. Put your back and money behind it. Put your work into it. You know what I mean?
Like, nobody wants to work these days.
I feel like Taurus is, you know, they have some of that Venusian energy, so sometimes their heads can be up in the clouds a little bit too, you know? And so they need to see your action. They aren't gonna listen to your words like that.
Yeah, no,
they
it's
really
true.
do need to see more action than the fluff of the words you give to them.
I feel like,
you know,
they value routine. They value you saying you're gonna do something and doing it, because that's how they are. Like, what is Taurus? Super reliable.
Yes.
If they say they're gonna do something, they're gonna do it. And trust and believe, if they don't want to do it, they're not gonna do it, and you're gonna know they're not gonna do it. They're not the types to just be fucking blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
so I feel like because of that, they also see the world as like, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, Taurus isn't the type to always be the loudest, chattiest, the most words. They can sometimes be a little shy. Doesn't mean they really are shy with the people they actually fuck with. But they sit back, they observe, they want to see how you move. Yeah. You know, they're fixed earth.
Yeah. And honestly, what, to me, when I think about it in a very literal terms, what is more reliable? Your actions over your words that you're giving. And Taurus is all about being reliable. They are the friends who show up no matter what, you know, like they are riders. So yeah, they need to see that you are going to ride for them that same way, and it's not just all whispering, blowing smoke up your butt.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Taurus just genuinely wants to sit back, do their thing, and they don't always need to be talking to you to show that they care about you. Right. You know what I mean? Like Taurus.
I know.
Exactly. You know through their actions, through what they're doing for you, how they show up for you. Yes. They're not going to be the ones that you're having like those late night conversations with, where you're like, I love you, I know I love you.
Yeah. Like they do love you, but they're going to show it differently. Yes. They're the type to
also,
be like,
their energy is very grounded.
Yeah.
That's how they show you they care.
Yes.
They're there still.
You know what? They may actually be the slowest, some of the slowest to tell you and express that affection at times of like, I love you. You know, it may take them a really long time to open up and share those verbal words, but they will show you every day, I love you. Yeah. They'll bring you flowers. They're cooking you food. They're like, they know what time you wake up.
Do you need this?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're aware of how you're moving. And if there is a shift in the way that you're moving, they're the first people to notice it. Yeah. Because they know. It reminds me of fucking Sheena from Vanderpump. She has 60 different people's locations on. Trust and believe she's watching. Yes. I saw that you went to so-and-so's house at this time. What does that mean about you? A little spooky, but you know. Yes. They care. They need to know. Whether it's for pure entertainment or actual care, I don't know sometimes. but
I think it's like possession.
I do think it's also a control thing.
Yeah, it's like
they
a
want to be
possession.
like, well, this is how you usually are, and I've noticed lately you haven't been acting like that. Well, yeah, people change and grow, and people act differently in life, Taurus.
Right. They're like, I figured out your routine, and you're not acting in that routine way. So I think it's funny. It's pretty okay.
Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? I noticed you get almond milk now instead of oat. Like, what does that say about you?
Right. I don't know you anymore. You've changed your whole personality.
Like, you make me feel unsafe, you know? You're always changing.
Next, we have Gemini, and Gemini is the typical chatterbox of how they communicate. And yeah, duh.
Do you want me to show you an example, or do you... Because I can go on a tangent right now, my Gemini moon ass.
Yes.
Like, what else is life if I'm not sharing every bit of it with you, the people I trust?
Right. Listen.
I want to talk until there is nothing left within me.
Yes.
And just when you think I'm done talking, I actually just realized something. And I need to go in deeper on this subject.
Right.
With you, my trusted friend, employee, lover, family member, aunt, hole on the wall.
Right.
Anything that I get any sort of energy back from, I'm like, that crack on the wall.
Let me talk to you.
Having some personality these days.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Wait.
I also feel like Gemini just loves to chat so much because they're genuinely curious people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're genuinely curious beings, you know? And so they will have something to say about something, and they'll chat about that. And then you may have made a remark, and then they're like, oh, actually, I'm really interested in what you said about that, though. So can you talk more about that?
No, seriously.
And then you go on that. And
it's endless.
It is endless. They can be good listeners when they're able to slow down a little bit. But sometimes their mind is just moving so fast.
Yeah.
And if you can't keep up with that, you are not actually catching Gemini in their full
capacity.
Yes.
Well, I think that's why some people, if you get lost in that essence of chatterbox that Gemini has, you're gonna be uncomfortable with Gemini energy, because like Gemini does move and they're ruled by Mercury, you know, the planet of communication. So clearly they enjoy talking, they're really good at it, and they're good about talking about different subjects at a really fast pace, and they're taking in stimuli around them in their environment really quickly. So yes, they're really into this conversation, but then they just saw something that reminded them of something else, so now they want to talk about that. It takes a special kind of person to match that energy or to be interested in that energy.
Yeah.
Because I've seen plenty of Geminis with friends or partners that just enjoy seeing Gemini do their thing. And you know? It's like when you're doing double dutch, you know, you're like, oh, should I go in? Should I go in? You know what I mean? And like, I think the best people for Gemini are the people that do want to go in. Like, you feel confident enough to go in. Like, I genuinely enjoy talking to other air sign moons a lot. Yeah. Because they're not judging me when I'm doing that thing where I'm just like talking about my feelings. Yeah. And for me, it takes a while to actually be honest with myself about what I'm feeling. I need to talk before I actually, I'm like, okay, that's the feeling. Okay. And I need people around me that are okay with that. Yes. Because it is a very typical chatterbox energy, and Gemini doesn't want to be judged. Yes. No, and you're so right. You have to keep talking with the Gemini to kind of coax it out of them what they're actually feeling. Because they will be talking and talk about the thing and talk about the thing, but it's like, how do you feel, Gemini? You know? And also, like you said, they want people to engage with them in the conversation. Like, sure, I think Gemini is so good at talking. They can carry the torch completely by themselves. But they would love, actually, if somebody came in and would help a little bit. They don't always like to have to carry the torch. Sometimes they feel the weight of that, you know? Like, it can be awkward, and Gemini feels like they have to come in and fill that space, you know? Like, that is also, that's a burden sometimes, you know? It is. And Gemini shouldn't always have to carry that. Next, we have Virgo, and for Virgo, it is the acute paranoia. That is how you communicate. I actually, that's really funny. You know why? It is really funny. Because they are also Mercury ruled like Gemini. But Virgo is such a stress ball most of the time.
Yes.
That like when they're doing that thing where they're word vomiting, it's about something where like they were stressed about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Virgo, like truly they need to feel, again, very comfortable with you to be a chatterbox type of energy. But if they have surpassed that level of like, okay, I don't even care if I'm comfortable with you, I'm just letting you know what I'm feeling, it is because they're probably paranoid about some shit right now.
Yes.
And they need to release it. Like they deep dived into a subject so hard and heavy, as they Virgos do.
Yes.
You know, they can be very detail oriented and they can get very, very obsessive. So when they find that thing, or when they feel like, oh my god, my mind is gonna blow up if I don't share this with someone right now. And that to me, it gives acute paranoia in the sense of like, I am actually scared of where this is going, and I need to share it with you. I need to share it with you. Like, let them word vomit.
No, actually.
Like, if you love a Virgo, you're gonna let them word vomit.
They have to. It's because it doesn't always
happen. It's gonna be the most
often.
eloquent word vomit of your life.
Yes, so well thought out.
Yeah. Like, there's no way that you're just accidentally doing this. Like, you wrote a speech about this subject. And they're like, correct, because I've been scared.
Yes, because Virgo is very risk averse.
Yeah.
So like that paranoia comes because they are genuinely scared.
Yeah.
They don't know how this is gonna go. So that's why they need every detail. They need to know the rules. They need to know the time, the place, in order to have fun. Like, it's not fun for them unless they know everything.
Yeah.
And they can kind of be in control to a certain extent,
I'm
which
like,
is crazy because
for you because you don't know everything.
You know?
Yeah.
It's actually so crazy to me sometimes when I think about like them being mutable. When I really think about it, I'm like, yes, but then other times I'm like, gosh, you're how?
Yeah.
You know? Because again, they need to know everything, and that is just different than how I think immutable is. Like, mutables just go with the flow a little bit more. And I guess in comparison to the other earth signs, sure. But again, like you said, they're very detail oriented, and I feel like that's where that acute paranoia comes in, because it's like, I'm worried about what is happening because I'm genuinely scared.
Like they want to feel safe at all times.
Yes.
Because
Safety
they're such control freaks, you know. And I feel like when you're communicating, you don't know where the conversation's gonna go. Yeah. And that scares them. You know what I mean? Like, the conversation may go somewhere where they aren't an expert. Oh my god. Oh no. About like the conversation. Yes. So they're kind of like tripping. They're like, oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes.
You know?
No, you're so right. Because too,
catch them on the good day, talking about something they like.
Yes.
Oh, they talking.
Yes.
But they're always scared you're going to talk about something that they don't know about.
No, you're so right, because I feel like they really pride themselves, and I feel like being clear communicators, being really precise, and like knowing what they're talking about. So when that doesn't happen, they go into their shell so hard.
Yeah.
You know,
actually,
like,
can we
so
put a
hard.
pause on this and meet back up 3 days from now, where I have done plenty of research?
Yeah.
We can pick this up exactly where we left it. And the other person's like, we're just having a casual conversation.
Right. It's like you could just ask questions, flow with it a little bit more, but sometimes they're just so rigid.
You know what it is? It's like they're such good like chess players, even when it comes to like communication. Like, they're always, ahead of the curve when it comes to like what is gonna happen, what your argument is. Well, this is my rebuttal to that argument. So I feel like when they're caught off guard, when they haven't planned it 3 moves ahead, they get paranoid, and they almost think that like shit's getting scary. Yeah. Like it's a genuine
it's getting out of control.
Yeah. And it's happened to me with Virgos before, where I feel like shit's getting a little too deep and maybe a little too emotional. And I feel like that's when they back out. And that's, I feel like every time my relationship with a Virgo, not always romantic, turned for the worst, is when it started to get emotional and they didn't want to get that deep.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's where that acute paranoia pops up of like, well, I am very much in control of my emotions as a Virgo, and if you want to talk about this, you're going to get me to a place where I can't predict what I'm going to say next, and that's very scary to me.
Yeah, and I can't
me
have
being
that.
a water dominant ass bitch, I'm like, this is when it starts getting interesting. What do you mean? Like, let's fucking talk about it. Let's get raw.
Yeah, let's get real.
And I feel like they get very, very scared of that. Because, your heart, your feelings, your emotions, like, it's raw and you can't control it. You have no control over that part of you.
Yeah. And that's scary to them. Next, we have Libra, and I love this. It's the class president.
It's just like, it's so funny.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Libras really are such skilled conversators and diplomats and know how to be like, give you just enough to be like, I really like you, but not enough to ever piss you off. Does that make sense?
No, it's true. They make everyone feel safe. You are seen. What do you need? In your group of people, what do you need? I can bring us all together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I could be that for a day.
No, like, actually, when you match everyone's energy, which is Libra's literal superpower, you have a way of making everyone feel safe. Who wins presidency? Someone that is for the people, that speaks on behalf of a majority of the people, that gives Libra energy, and the way that they communicate is very much like, I see you. What you say matters. I've noticed you haven't been speaking up. What did you have to say about that? Oh, thank you for sharing that. But, you know, you have been speaking a lot, and I would like it if we can create a safe space for other people to speak as well. Like, you are just making everyone feel seen and safe. And even if you're putting people in their place, you're doing it in an eloquent way.
Yes.
Where no one's really, like, getting mad at you. Because you're Libra. You're never mean. If you are telling someone what to do, it means that they really are fucking up. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
Like the president said,
no, it's so true. I feel like Libra's really good at getting like consensus and kind of like you were saying, like, okay, you were talking, well, let's hear from this side now. Like, they're really good at playing those parts because I feel like they just love that equality and fairness and communication, you know? So they make sure everyone is playing by that rule when they're in charge.
Yes. You know, a thing that is annoying about this and the way they communicate is that, like, where are your loyalties?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right.
No, you know what I mean? Like, oh, so you out here selling everybody the dream. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you really care about what I'm saying? We do. But, like, I do think from another perspective, people get frustrated with Libra energy because they ride the fence so well. And when you're looking at things from a big picture, you're like, oh yeah, Libra's doing great. But then when you talk to specific people, it's like, well, Libra never really picks a side. And like, they did make me feel like, you know, they were on my side, but then they were geeking with the other side.
No, and
which gives presidency. Vibes.
No, 100%.
Like, where is your loyalty, Biden?
Yes, because here's the thing too. I feel like, actually this may be a theme, maybe a little bit for air signs, not as much for Aquarius because I feel like you know where they stand. But they take a little bit more time to, and yes, this is true for Aquarius, a little bit more time to express what they really feel, if that makes sense. And Libra has feelings about things, and they do have a side, but you do need to kind of pin them down and be like, tell me. Because
like, I would like you to curb stomp them,
because
put a fucking back of your elbow on their neck, and be like, I have your grandmother, and they're like, who do you pick?
Gun to your head,
literally. What's your favorite song? I don't know. My favorite food? Fuck. That's the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Where do I want to go for lunch? Oh my god, kill me now. Just get my grandma, it's fine. I can't do this.
No, actually though. Because sometimes trying to make a Libra decide is like the worst thing ever.
No, it's scary. These are scary times we live in.
Yes. No. It's the worst. Please make a decision.
It's
me to me.
Like, Libra's just scared of making the wrong decision. Yes, it's like, what the fuck does that mean?
They've heard people's sides so much, you know? It's almost like how sometimes a Gemini talks themselves out of things.
Yeah. It's probably really easy to make decisions when you're not hearing other people.
Oh yeah.
Like, think about Aries. And think about Leo. And think about, like, Scorpio.
So much easier.
It's like, what I say is right. What I say is important. Like, I don't really care what you're saying. And Libra is like the opposite of that energy of like, Taurus is in another room ready to be a dictator. So Libra being the person that hears every single angle, every single argument, of course, when it's time for them to make a decision, they're like, I've heard great things tonight. I've heard your side and your side and your side. I'm supposed to pick one?
Right.
It's scary for them. It is.
It really is.
The way we be reading Libras is too good. It's because we both have heavy Libra places.
Like us.
Like, I know it. I know it like the back of my fucking hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay, next we have Capricorn. And for Capricorn, it's the order in the courtroom. Wait, I love that.
Oh,
the way it's so funny.
Dying.
No, because like I feel like when a Capricorn communicates, they're like, don't say nothing unless you got some good shit to say, and unless you got facts to back it up. Because I don't take nothing seriously unless they come through with the facts.
Right, you need to come correct.
No,
you need to
actually,
come with all the shit in line, in order, structure.
I walk out the house as a Capricorn rising. I look around. I'm like, who do I take seriously here?
Nobody.
A lot of people I don't. And it doesn't take much for me to look at people and be like, I don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
For you to tell me to do anything ever in life. You know, and that gives very much like order in the courtroom.
There's very Capricorn energy.
Like, why do you think I care about what you have to say?
Yes.
Where's your credentials? Like, genuinely, that's also another thing I feel.
No.
When people open their mouth, and maybe I'm sounding so, like, bitchy or like on a high horse, I really don't give a fuck. Like, truly, I genuinely feel like as a Capricorn rising, I want less people to give advice. Less people to open their mouths and talk. Yeah. A lot of people just feel so bold and confident about what they have to say. Someone's gonna be like, that's you. Yes, I am correct. Well, and I'm just like, as a Capricorn rising, I'm like, maybe you should think this through a little bit more before you decide that, like, you're correct.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No.
Where are the credentials?
No. I genuinely feel like sometimes Capricorns are like, this is useless conversation. Like, you are wasting your breath. Yeah. Speaking to me, trying to explain anything. Like you said, where are your credentials? Yeah. Who the fuck are you?
It reminds me of Judge Judy.
Care.
Or like any of those judges in the daytime.
Yes.
When like they come and like the person's like, oh, like da-da-da. She's like, give me the papers.
Stop, I don't care.
And she's like, oh, this is wrong.
Did I say you can speak? Did I say you can speak? Yes.
Honestly,
also,
yes.
Too, like, order in the courtroom, like, who's bringing the order? You, Capricorn? Like, that's also very big of how they communicate, because they're like, I am the boss, I am the dictator. Like, that is very much how Capricorn communicates, you know? Like, I know word of God. Yeah. You know, it reminds me of, like, Scorpio, Aries, like, all these very dominant signs of, like, this is law.
No, it's
you
true.
can't tell me shit.
Actually, it is pretty funny that for Scorpio, it's the witness one, and for Capricorn, it's order in the courtroom. We in the court of law, baby. Take this shit seriously.
Right.
All right? Don't be fucking around.
Right. Scorpio's a good witness in the courtroom. Capricorn's
like,
I'll
taking
see you.
Scorpio seriously.
Right. I'll listen.
But Scorpio's like, don't look at me.
No, it's incognito, remember?
No, literally.
Clandestine, that's what that means.
Actually. But yeah, Capricorn for sure has certain rules before they take people seriously.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're not ones to like walk into a room, meet people, and they're like, I just made some friends. Like, you know what I mean? Capricorn walks in,
so no Capricorn
and they're
ever.
like, oh god, hey, let's see who's good enough.
Right, actually. No, actually. And that's what's so funny. That is what's so funny, because yeah, some people really do move. I feel like Sagittarius moves through life like, everybody is my friend.
I literally...
And Capricorn's like, let me see about that.
Oh my god, no, actually. How many times have I, as your friend, been like, now everyone's your fucking friend?
Right. And is it not my actual thing? I'm like, everyone's my friend until they prove otherwise.
No, it is. And I'm like, everyone's your enemy unless they show you otherwise.
Right.
Which is also probably not good. You know? Let's meet in the middle.
Right, because my weight isn't great either. Like, everybody's my friend? No. Yeah. But that really was how I operated for such a long time, you guys.
No.
I have more trust issues now.
Yeah. I'm learning to let go of my trust issues.
Balance.
Alright.
last but certainly not least, baby, is Aquarius. The let's have the debate.
Yes. I've never seen anything more accurate.
Oh my god.
Like, where is Aquarius's will to live if you guys can't argue with each other and debate? Like,
Right.
I actually think Aquarius's worst fear is someone shoving them in a room with someone that agrees on everything.
Oh yeah.
And Aquarius has to sit across from them while they have a conversation. And Aquarius will slowly kill themselves. They'll be like, so you agree? Okay.
Right.
What about this?
Like devil's advocate. Like the 10,000
the person's like, I agree with that too. Aquarius is like, fuck!
Right, that's not fun.
What do you want to argue? Do you want to fight? Because I want to fight.
Right.
Like, they love it.
No, it'll piss
And
them
not
off.
fight like a Scorpio or an Aries, like a Martian. Like, I'm talking a mental game of like, let me change your mind.
Right. They get off on that shit.
Yeah.
Telling you like, you shouldn't think this way. This isn't right. How dare you think that? They're so good at belittling you.
They want to fuck your brain so hard. They want to fuck it in a way it's never been fucked before your brain.
Yes.
They do. They want you to see they want you to see life in a whole new way.
Can I say what's something so funny about them too though? Because they're like, yes, let me open your mind. Let me change what you
Open that
think.
motherfucking mouth.
They love having that freedom of expression and like however their brain can like flow.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody tries to like say something to them about something they disagree with, they're like, no, you're fucking wrong.
No, I genuinely feel like Aquarius, it gives the energy of like that one person that's like, have you done anal before? I want to be the one that takes it.
Yeah.
But like, not in a specific way.
Yeah.
In like a mental way of like, have you ever thought about it like this? And if they can be the person that takes that from you, that like blows your mind when it comes to a new subject, they will feel so fulfilled. Yeah. That is their life purpose.
No, yeah.
Is changing your perspective, having a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
With you, through you, literally.
That shit gets
I'm
me
telling
off. Hot.
And maybe anal too. You never
Love
know.
it. I'm not sure about that one, but the other part is I couldn't just be like, yes.
Just like, yes. Yes.
You know? I'd be like, wow, Maya loves anal.
Hashtag Maya loves anal.
You're like, no.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm actually crying.
Yes, but two, I love about Aquarius and how they communicate. They like to go there, you know, like I feel like nothing is off bounds. They do get a little weird. They ain't afraid to get a little freaky and like
it's all coming back to anal. Like everything you said just no, I'm just kidding.
Well, now I can't stop thinking about it.
Well, that's what we've been saying, that Maya wants it.
No! That's not what I meant!
You guys, we're joking, obviously. This is giving so Aquarius. Like, where did this conversation go? Let's have a debate.
Right.
No. I know what you mean.
Off the charts,
like,
out of bounds.
they are okay with being different.
Yes.
The conversation being different.
Yes, and they like when it gets weird. They like when it's offbeat. Like, I feel like that's why sometimes Sagittarius and Aquarius get along very well.
So
because
easily.
It's like, let's be raunchy. Let's fucking say whatever. Like, offend me a little bit.
Jupiterian and Uranus. Like, let's make it big and let's make it different.
Yes. Let's do something crazy, baby.
Let's blow this world.
Yes. You know?
You know, that's what happens sometimes when it goes in the wrong hole.
Pisces too, I feel like they like to...
You're welcome. We just did something a little different for you.
We just communicated how you communicate with us.
No, literally. Actually, we
this
just...
is how I interpret your communication.
No, like, where did this go? Actually, like, how did this end?
It started
in a whole different fucking place than when it started.
Very different way. Who would have thought it would have ended with butt stuff?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Said everybody ever after they did butt stuff. Alright, let's end it here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us while we talk about astrology and a lot of other stuff.
Butt stuff. I'm sorry.
forget to subscribe.
Yes.
Don't forget to like the video, comment below. Do you love butt?